Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Spooktober Storytime, Volume 5. Tonight's story is The Dawn is Your Enemy, as narrated by Delta Ovalpanda.
Trying to look up background information on the bump, so I guess I'll polish this later. You guys all know the Adult Swim off bumper, The Dawn is Your Enemy? There's a reason they don't show it anymore. Last time the bumper was used as a sign-off instead of the normal running time of estimated 9 seconds. It ran for an extended period of time until the automated servers were overtaken by the manual operation. We all know the sound that shocked our childhood or teen years. The resonating metal, the rumbles, the sound of metal scraping against metal. Feeling free to look it up if you're a bit rusty. Now when the audio comes, it doesn't sound complete. It's not finished, not over. The producers at Adult Swim / Cartoon Network were purposely cutting off the rest of the sound, and for good reason. The rest that followed was the exact reasoning why you'll never see this bumper on the air. Once again, it's only supposed to run for about 9 seconds, and this is a rough transcript of the usual audio. Resonating metal, following a rumble, followed by a scraping metal, and another rumble and bumper. So, what could you put together with that? Nothing rings a bell, right? Exactly. This is a part that is used officially to scare off children that they have still tuned into Adult Swim. Even gives adults goosebumps because it's that good. It closely rivals with the hammer clinks in the William Street's production in Nightmare Fuel. Getting back on topic, usually a Cartoon Network employee would enter the control room left by the Adult Swim crew member and take it over for the day. It wasn't quite the case that day, however. The usual man scheduled to cue the sign-in and such programming for Cartoon Network for some reason didn't start the day schedule. No one knows if he did it purposely or whether or not his contract was terminated. This was the least of problems Cartoon Network had at the time. What followed the common 9 seconds was an extended 2-minute broadcast of what some of the most horrifying audio in public television. The metal continued to resonate and the scraping continued, followed slowly, and a controllable sobbing came clearer. Not one person was crying, but a multitude of people were screaming and yelling. As the metal scraped, the screaming grew louder. Soon, you could hear the slicing of flesh, the grinding of bones, the gushing of blood, and the guttering death rattles of the people dying. All across the state, millions of children and adults were exposed to what sounded like a barbaric mass murder. People were calling in across the country, crying, screaming, or begging for it to be turned off. Something kept their eyes attached to the screen and kept them listening to the broadcast. People assumed the control finally got in, and the bumper shut down, ending a traumatic experience no one could undoubtedly forget. In the last few moments, as resonating metal grew into an unbearable volume, this channel showed the peaking sun winking at the viewer, and the channel cuts to the bars and tunes. How was Cartoon Network going to cover this up? No one knows their exact tactics to this day. Multiple theories have been thought of, ranging from a pre-active cease and desist to possible news articles to some supplementary viewer hypnosis over the following weeks. With all the public evidence does not officially exist, Cartoon Network do acknowledge a hijacking of the channel frequency on that day, but go into no further detail. All late morning bumps, including TDIYE, were replaced with the corresponding ones from the 1:30 a.m. time slot. Word is, however, that somewhere hidden in an onion site accessible via Tor is a recording of the bump that morning. The question asked the most amongst the few who remember this is how Cartoon Network got the audio at the first place.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's tale, as when Halloween night commences, you will see your final tale. Trapped at Freddy's, as read by Gravity.